What up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Cooking with Tam Bams, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make that caramel frosting. If you watched my previous video for the pound cake, this is that frosting. Just stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Alright, so for the old-fashioned caramel frosting, you're going to need the following: carnation milk, 1 stick of butter, vanilla extract, this is the carnation milk, and 2 cups of sugar. So let's get cooking. All right, first things first, we are going to start off by melting our butter. My butter is at room temperature. My stove top is at medium high, and you're going to see that my butter starts to melt immediately. I recommend doing it this way. You'll cut down the timing, because this is a very tedious process and you don't want to be waiting for your stove top to warm up and then wait for it to melt when it could already be hot, and you can drop it in there and let it melt. It's not going to take long at all, and this is just one part of the process, so do it this way. Now that your butter is fully melted, you're going to add in your sugar, and I'm going to do this in portions because it is 2 cups of sugars, and I want to prevent the clumping. It's going to be hard because once this butter get mixed in there, but you know, try to make it as easy on yourself as possible because you're going to do a lot of stirring, a lot. So you know, make it easy on yourself. So I added some of my sugar, probably about 1/2 cup, and then I added the 2nd cup. Now that you got that 2nd cup of sugar in there, you're going to mix that in. You want to get these, the butter and the sugar completely combined, and continue to stir. You're going to stir it like your life depended on it. You're going to stir as if this was a gumbo roux. If you ever made a roux for a gumbo, you know what I mean, because there ain't no sitting down. There ain't no taking breaks. You need to be on that stove. Actually, if you got a partner, if you got a husband, you got a boyfriend and some kids, take turns, switch out, because your wrist is going to be burning from the stirring you're gonna do. And y'all gonna notice I switch from right to left and left to right, and I'm still stirring. So the purpose of this stirring, we want to get it into a brown color so that we can start our frosting. So, oh, and you see how I just waved my hand? Make sure that you keep your sugar mix in your pot, because the smell of that burning on your stove top, you don't want to smell that. It pissed me off. But nevertheless, back to what I was saying, is you are trying to get that butter and sugar mixture into a brown, like, can you see that, like light brown color? We want all of it to be that brown. Once we get that full brown, then we're going to move on to the next step. But you're going to continue to stir. Try to keep as many clumps out of this as possible. Make sure you keep stirring. Don't let it burn. If it starts to burn, you're probably going to have to start over. But so prevent that. Watch your stove. Take it down a notch if you need to. I like to lift my pot up if I feel like it's too much heat, just a little bit above the stove, just to keep the heat there, but not direct heat. But keep stirring. And also, if you have a whisk, use a whisk. It might be a little bit easier than me using this spoon, but if you have a whisk, I would recommend using that. Okay, guys, you see we're getting closer to that brown, golden brown look that we're looking for. Caramel. You know what? This is closer to a caramel. You know how caramel looks? That is what we're looking for. We are looking for the same color as caramel. Listen, keep stirring until you get that. You know, smash up those clumps. Make sure they're not in there. Keep stirring. Like I said, this is a tedious process, so you're going to keep stirring. I think that this whole process took about 15 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes max. But you're going to keep stirring. And when I say stir, I'm not saying just, you see how my wrist is moving? I am really stirring. Scrape the bottom of your pot when you're stirring, so you can make sure you're not letting anything stick and burn, because you're going to ruin your caramel frosting. All right, guys, this is the color. I am comfortable with this color. I've stirred all my little wrist can stir. My son switched out. He helped me. I went to the left, to the right, and now we're going to add the milk. Add your carnation milk. And as you can see, adding it, it's going to start to bubble up. So just be careful not to let it splatter on you or splash back. Because this is hot. But then you're going to go in and stir it immediately. Stir fast. You might want to bring down the temperature. If you're not very skilled at stirring, bring your temperature down a tad bit and stir and stir. We're trying to get that smooth caramel mix. And as you can see, I'm having some clumps in mine. So I have to get a little bit more elbow grease in it. But make sure you stir. Stir, 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 until we get the texture that we're looking for. And if you happen, you know, I've made this before and I've gotten like a chunk of caramel, you can pull that out. Pull it out and move on, because this is more than enough to put on an 8-inch cake. So you're good to go. But don't let this burn. Keep stirring until we get the texture that we're looking for. All right, so I switched over to a wood spoon because now I'm starting to get that texture that I want. We want this to kind of thicken up because it's going to be frosting, of course. But make sure you continue to stir. And you know, everything I'm saying, it sounds really repetitive, but like I said, if you ever did a rube for a gumbo before, that is all you're doing. You're constantly stirring. And so my video is probably going to sound really, really boring. But one thing about it, and two things for sure, is this frosting is going to be bomb and you're going to love it. And it's going to be worth your wrist and fingertips hurting. All right, so if you lowered your temperature, bring it back up to a medium high because you want to give it a little bit of boil. So the whole purpose of this, like I said before, we're trying to get that thick texture so that we can put it onto our cake. So, you know, keep stirring it. You know, it sounds repetitive. Every time I have to keep saying to stir, there is nothing other than me to say it that way. It's that because this whole process of you stirring these ingredients together to create this amazing frosting. And also you're stirring this so that the granules of the sugar mixed in with the milk and butter, you know, you don't want those granules in your mixture. You don't want to taste sugar when you eat it. So I recommend also tasting this, but FYI, this is hot, so let it cool a little bit, but taste it so that you can know that it's ready. You don't want to taste any sugar, any granules in it when you are tasting it. If you do, keep stirring, put it back on the stove, keep going. All right, guys, the finish line is here. I can feel it. It's thickening up. Look at that. It's thickening up more. That is the beautiful color. This is the direction we're going, but it's not quite ready.
Kind of smells like mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, really?
Yeah, it does. You don't smell that?
Alright guys, this is how your caramel frosting should look. Look at how thick it is. You want it just like this. But we're going to let it cool, so don't forget that part. We're going to let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. Nothing over 15 minutes. Just depends on how hot it is. And again, you can kind of give it a little taste so you know. But this is the thickness that you are going for. And you're going to let it cool before putting it onto your cake. Alright, I'll let my frosting cool for about 10-15 minutes. And now I am going to frost my beautiful cake. And look at it go. It looks so pretty and golden. And it smells delicious. And look how it's just flowing onto my cake, coating my beautiful cake. And listen, y'all don't have to do your cake like me. You can actually take a spatula and actually, you know, put it around your entire cake. You don't have to do a bundt cake. You can do a regular sheet cake or whatever you choose to do it. But what I can tell you is you follow my recipe, your cake gonna be just as bomb as mine because my family murdered this cake. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button for my upcoming videos. Also, check out my previous videos, especially the one that's linked to this, which is going to be the pound cake. See you next time.